Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your angel and spirit guide message reading for you. Now, this reading is undated because whenever you come across it is the exact moment when your angels and your spirit guides want you to hear this message. Now, before I dive into everything, I just want to say that due to these uncertain times, I am focusing these messages on love, light, and positivity in order to bring us up, to raise our energy vibration instead of lowering us down, because the Lord knows there is more than enough out there in the world to make us feel chaotic, small, and scared. And this is to build us up. All right, so now let's dive in. I'm going to be starting with your spirit guide animal cards. These are going to be your totem animals for this time. So if you see these animals in the wild, or if you see an image of these animals, this is really your angels and your spirit guides tapping you on the shoulder, Aries, saying, remember this message. So let's see what they have to say. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. So we have the bat spirit. A rebirth is assured, which is so spectacular. That's lovely. And then we have the groundhog spirit. Time to let go. Time to let go of negativity and embrace the heart. Because I love that he's nibbling, and I'll show you guys a better, like a close-up. He's nibbling on this little heart right here. So I adore that. I just get such a nice calm feeling from the groundhog spirit. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. All right. So we have meditation, and then we have holistic health. Now, holistic health does not mean by any way, shape, or form to go against what a doctor is saying. Holistic health means to look at natural ways of embracing your light, your love, your positivity, and really moving you forward. So it's kind of stepping back from things and saying, what do I need to do for me? What does my body need? How do I need to move forward? What is it that I'm seeking? And that's how I'm really reading this holistic health. And meditation is going to be one of the key ways that you move forward, but also the sense of just embracing peace and connecting with your cosmic consciousness, which, sounds kind of ominous to do at times. Let's see here. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Angel and spirit guide message for Aries. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Oh, goodness, okay. It's right here. All right. So we have the Six of Air, which is the Six of Swords. I'm going to equate these all back and reference all these cards, because they go air, water, earth, to swords, to cups, so that they're all based off of the Rider-Waite-Smith. There we go, I can speak. So we have Six of Air, which is Six of Swords. We have 10 of Water, which is 10 of Cups, which is just brilliant. We have the Six of Fire, so there's definitely this nurturing, healing energy that is around you, which is brilliant to take advantage of. You have the Five of Water here. You have the Five of Cups. Change your mind. You change your whole entire life. You have the Emperor. You shine through, Aries. This is your time to shine, and that's brilliant. The world is opening up to you. And you have the fortune's wheel. So everything is changing. You have a lot of change coming into your life, what you're seeing as important. And it comes after a tower time, which, I mean, if this is not a tower time, of course, I'm doing this reading during the pandemic, during this outbreak, this chaos. So the tower makes a lot of sense. Now, if you happen across this reading later on, or whenever you come across it, this is, of course, referencing whatever tower time is in your life right now. And then you have the King of Air, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the Two of Fire, the Two of Wands. So there is a new way of you moving forward that you are going to be embracing, and there is a wish that you're getting, and there is this kind of ending of one cycle and beginning of a new cycle, and it's a birth. So a rebirth is assured, but a birth is painful. So even though this is going to be joyous, this is going to be something where you're going through it and you might be thinking, my gosh, how am I ever going to get out of this cycle, of this, doubt and of this fear, or of this, this sense of something holding you back. And it's kind of like you're looking at the wrong things, or you're going to have a very strong tendency, Aries, to be very hard on yourself. And what I'm seeing here is like, don't do that, kind of very simply put. Don't sit there and put all the weight of the world on your shoulders, because that is going to be the first way that you think of making something right. It's kind of like, oh, okay, I'll just go after it. I'll be that emperor. I'll take on this battle, because Aries, you are ruled by Mars, and Mars is all about, Mars is the god of war. Mars is all about taking on these battles, going after things. Aries, the god of war in Greek mythology, Mars in Roman mythology. And so you're going to think, okay, I can meet this head on. I could just go after it. And it's kind of like, no, step back a little bit, because you're smarter than the problem is. And you're going to be able to move forward in a way that you hadn't anticipated, but that is going to be very freeing to you. And the rebirth, the repeat of this number 5 here, is saying that things will be resolved more quickly than you had imagined. But also, with a rebirth is assured, you are going to find that it's freeing. It's kind of like this rebirth frees you. And it has you seeing things differently, and it has you flying to heights that you had not imagined for yourself. This may take time, most definitely, as rebirths often do, but you are stepping into a way of thinking, a realm of being that is profoundly powerful, and it leads you to time to let go. It's time to let go of the heartbreaks, the pains, the disappointments that have been holding you back, and it's time to embrace your heart's truth. It's time to embrace what you love, and it's time to look at things and say, what do I want? Where do I want to be? How do I want to be moving myself forward? And what do I want from my life? And you might find that there are areas in your life where you're being pulled back. It's like, do I hold on, or do I let it go so that it flies kind of at your enemy? It's kind of like, what I'm seeing here is it's holding a sword back, or it's kind of like a bowstring, right? That's an easier way to put it. It's pulling back a bowstring. And now it's like, okay, it's time to release that arrow. Let it fly. Let it fly and let it hit its target. Because what you have is you have somebody pulling against you, and you're pulling back, and you're going to wait for just the right moment. It's like, now's the right moment. Let it go. Let it go, because it is actually going to do you more. It's going to do you more harm to hold on to it, and it's going to do you astounding good to let it go. So it's letting go of pain. It's letting go of doubt, and it's even letting go of fear, which you might say, oh, Dane, that's so easy for you to say. But, I've been furloughed. Things have been crazy. Everything is completely out of sorts. And yes, most definitely. Most definitely. But this is a spotlight. This is a spotlight on our lives to say what stays the same and what has to change. And you're looking at that, Aries, and you come out better than you could imagine. You come out stronger, more determined. You might sit there and, have things to work out, but there's this focus to you where you're like, I can handle this. I can take on this war, which is, the war of life, the battle that is existence. And you might sit there and say, okay, well, that's a rather fatalistic way to see life, as a war, as a battle. But I think it's rather right, because sometimes life hits you in a way where you're just sitting there and you're like, man, I never anticipated this, or I never thought things would happen this way. And so here you have meditation. Meditation is going to be key for you, Aries, because you have such power. You have such power, such force of personality, such dedication of soul, that to center yourself and to center your crown, your mind is going to be unbelievably on point during this time. So centering your mind, centering yourself really moves you forward. Meditation, if you find it hard to meditate, it can be, just sitting back, kind of, saying a song to yourself, like singing a song in your head. If you're finding it hard to clear your mind, if especially fear and doubt and, everything starts coming up, sing this song in your head and separate yourself. Separate yourself and let yourself just be that song, and let all the doubt and fear be like held at bay. And so as it's held at bay, you start connecting with your higher consciousness, with your higher self, and then you have holistic healing, holistic health. It's time to look at things and say, what is it that I need? And it can simply be to be calm, to be steady. You know, it's looking at your health, your soul, because our body tells us. It tells us what we need. And sometimes, you know, what we need is a very hard thing to come to terms with or to see, because, yeah, because it might be, you know, gosh, this is, okay, so Spirit is saying it might be at some place that you're looking at it, and you might think, oh no, this is fine. It's always been this way. But Spirit is saying here, something has to stop, something has to change, because it gives you wings, it lets you fly. And this is your root chakra. It's kind of like at the root of you. And once you see it, you kind of pick up this kind of rotted seed and you throw it away. It's like, isn't part of the harvest I'm planting for myself. And you start to heal the soil. You start to heal you as you move forward, so that your roots are planted in beauty. And that's what I'm seeing here. And it might be that you need to just kind of sit back, speak to yourself, speak to your angels. I know it might sound funny to speak to your angels, but that is something that is really quite beneficial. You're moving forward. Your mind is on point. And that's why speaking to your angels, speaking to your spirit guides, I mean, that would be something that is absolutely beneficial for you, because they're right here. I love how the King of Air, he has wings. They're right here for you. And yes, they're masked, because the beauty of them is far beyond our comprehension. But you are moving forward towards your goals, towards what you desire, and it's giving you wings, and you are being inspired. So by stepping back and listening to your angels, listening to yourself, and you might think, oh, Dane, it's just me chattering to me. Well, it could very well be. I mean, that's definitely one way to look at it. But it's also hidden knowledge, hidden wisdom coming to the surface, moving you forward, embracing you. And it can also be that during this time, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, really does move you forward. Right? This could be within your own chart. This could be somebody that you know. Right? But this is also knowledge. So knowledge moving you forward, going towards what you desire. Air sign energy directionally is east. So new days are going to be very, very important to you. How do you start your day? What is your ritual for the day? And it might be that you take some time, if you can, kind of steal a little bit of time just for yourself. That would be brilliant. All right? If you're quarantined and you're all by yourself, what is it that you do to make you feel connected? Because this is also communication. Communication is going to be key. Skyping with people, meditating with people, connecting. That is going to be key for you, Aries. And you're going to be seeing a greater picture, a greater way of you moving forward. There's something here, there's some missing key that is coming into place, and you are moving forward with your knowledge, with your wisdom. And I really do see here that as you're moving forward, it's like your angels are guarding you 100% of the way, and they want you to succeed. So you're going to be drawn towards something. It's right here. It's like a wish granted during a time of everything falling apart. And you're sitting there and you're looking at it, and you might be thinking, oh no, this can't be right. Because there is this sense here, if you see the tower with the 6 of fire, okay, the 6 of air, and the world. And just going off of the tower and then this healing, nurturing number of 6 coming into play, all right? This is going to say that as things fall, there's a connection. Now, it can be that divinity is right there with you, your angels right there with you, your spirit guides right there with you, opening up the world to you. And as the world opens, you see where it is that you want to stand. You see what it is that you desire. And then a wish comes to you. It comes to life. Things are changing. And you're going to feel during this time, to be really honest, you're going to feel, highs, lows, lefts, rights, like everything is crazy. But for some reason, you move forward towards victory. And that victory changes your perception of everything, changes how you're viewing this tower time, changes what you know you can withstand and how you can move forward. And the 10 of water, that's for me, the 10 of cups is a wish granted, blessings coming into play. It's like, this is your beauty. This is your time. This is your chance. It's time to move forward. And something beautiful this way comes. And as something beautiful comes, it's changing the game. Now, the tower for me is change. It's profound change. It's kind of like that mama bird kicking the baby bird out of the nest. So with the tower, it's divinity kicking you out of your comfort zone. And this time, goodness, this time has been just one kick out of your comfort zone after another. At least that's how I feel it. That's how I see it for so many people. And so here, it's like, okay, I'm kicked out of my comfort zone, but wishes are being granted. Beauty is coming forward. How? Why? Where am I? How am I? What do I desire? And as you ask yourself this, as you see this, as you embrace this change, the Emperor comes, and that's you. But the Emperor is also, so I keep on hearing, if I was king of the forest, in The Wizard of Oz, and the cowardly lion, he's looking for courage. And it can very well be, for a lot of you Aries, you're looking for courage at this time. It's like, how do I move forward? Where is it that I want to stand? How do I claim my throne? And you might be looking at yourself and seeing that you're not brave. I mean, because we have this idea of being brave. It's kind of like you know that you will run into the burning building. Well, most of us never know until we're faced with that, unless you're, of course, a firefighter. And so here, it's kind of like you're not seeing yourself as brave as you are, as strong as you are. You're not giving yourself the credit that you deserve. And so it's time to step back. Because whenever I see the Emperor, I always think of David in the Old Testament. And why I love David is because if you kind of look at it, and you might sit there and say, "Oh, Dane, this is blasphemous." But I mean, sure, but it's thoughts. If you look at it and you go from polytheism, okay, which was the belief in many gods, and you have the Greek gods. Let's just use the Roman gods. They're schmucks. I mean, they're not nice people at all. They decide to do horrible things just because they're bored or it's Tuesday. And so then you have the coming in of Christianity, right? And you have perfection. You have absolute perfection. David, I feel, right in the middle. He's not a schmuck, but he does things that aren't nice, aren't right. He sends a guy to die because he wants to marry his wife, all right? So he's not always perfect, but he's not a total jerk, and he's human. And that's what I think is so beautiful, Aries, is that once you embrace your humanity, once you sit there and say, I am not always good, and I am not always evil, but I am right in the middle because I am human. You choose your path. You choose your path without a righteous declaration of something that has never been tested, never has been proven. And you claim it. And then when you claim your throne, because that's what you do, Aries, you claim your throne. You say, like David did, I deserve to sit here. I deserve to rule. And then you connect with divinity. You connect with divinity in a way that is breathtaking, that is powerful, that moves you forward, and it opens up paths for you with the two of fire, with the two of wands. It's like it opens up paths for you that you hadn't realized, that you hadn't thought of, because now you are truly embracing strength. And what did Theodore Roosevelt said? Courage is not standing, in the face of adversity. It's not simply being an unmovable force, and I'm, of course, paraphrasing, but it's having the courage to stand when you would rather run away. It's standing your ground when you would rather run away. And that's what you're doing here. It's like you are standing your ground for your purpose, for your power, in whatever it is. And it will be like the first thing that comes into your mind when I said this. It's the first thing that you're looking at, and you're thinking, oh, can I do this? Can I move forward this way? And the answer is yes. Yes. And it's time to release something. It's time to let something go that has been holding you back and denying you your birthright. And as you move forward in this power, you're going to see times where, of course, they're going to be highlighted for you because this is your life, where you were selfish and self-centered, as we all are. Just look at a child. The world is all about you. So here you might want, and some of you Aries are going to try and knock yourself down and say, well, if I'm worthy of this, why did I do this? Why wasn't I perfect to begin with? Or why didn't I always choose the right path? And it's because we learn by falling and failing. If everything is laid out, it's kind of like that spoiled child. It's that person that never grows up. That person who always had everything laid out for them. They never fell. They were never devastated. And there's this entitlement. And so don't look at yourself, because you're going to look at yourself harshly and be like, because the harsh side of of the emperor is to be like Nero, who played his fiddle as Rome burned. And you're going to have a tendency, for some of you Aries, very distinctly to say, but this is it. And it's very nihilistic. It's very, well, there's no point. And there is a point, because you're opening up doors for you. And as you see this, the world opens. The world opens to a powerful truth for you in a powerful way. And the way that you had defined yourself through disability, through, devastation, through hardships, through pain, you start to sit there and say, I needed to go through this. I didn't like it. And of course, absolute devastation, absolute, debauchery within life. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, well, it can be, falling and losing everything. And it's like, okay, I see why. I see why. And I kind of speak from experience, because I've lost it all. I've lost it all and have been homeless and devastated and had to really find me again. I had to not be terrified. And that's what I'm seeing for you, Aries. It's like there is this strength and this power within you that you are looking at. And it's opening up worlds. It's opening up this power of your mind, of your existence, to move you forward. And it's like, yes, I can, instead of no, I can't. It's instead of having your energy vibration here, because Abraham Hicks talks about the vortex, what we put into the vortex. All the pain, all the disappointment, we get out blessings. But it doesn't come all at once. It would be lovely if all of a sudden everything you put into the vortex, like one day you woke up and you got a mansion, you got this great car, all of a sudden you had this fantastic job, but you might look at it and realize that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want peace. I want quiet. I want happiness. I want security. I want steadiness of self. And so you might be doing a 180, a complete change, because you're doing a 180 here of what you thought you desired and the way that the world is opening to you and what you truly want. It's like, no, this is how I'm going to construct my future. These are the steps that I'm taking. And yes, it's different, but my gosh, is it powerful. And as your world opens up to you, as you start to see this powerful truth, because you're going to start to see things open. You're going to start to see ideas come. You're going to start to see things falling into place, falling into alignment in a way that you hadn't before, or the way that you doubted. And as they come, there's going to be a looking at the disappointments, the doubts, the fears, the ways you're not worthy of this. And if you look at this and say, no, I can't take this gift. You know what divinity does, your angels do, is your angel sits there and says, oh man, I really wish you would take it. But okay, you're not ready for it. I'll give it to you later on. Or I'll give it to you in little bits and pieces. And then you'll be able to move forward the way that you want to, the way that you need to. Okay, but it might not be now. So if you're not ready for things to be like super intense, things come gradually, steadily, opening up to you. But there is going to be a tendency, and Spirit really does want me to warn you against it, of looking at the negative, of looking at the darkness, because the darkness is so overwhelming. And why is darkness bad? Why do we use darkness as a connotation for what isn't good? And I always wondered about that. And it's so simplistic in the explanation. It's like, because we're sight hunters. We're sight hunters. And so if you put us in absolute darkness or absolute light that becomes overwhelming, we can't see. And that becomes hard for us. So when you're in a place where things are overwhelming, it can be that you cannot emotionally see, and that's why you need this meditation and holistic healing, okay? And to focus on your holistic health, your internal and eternal health. And it can be that as you are focusing on this healing, as you are looking at the absolutes, the absolute of darkness, the absolute of light that is overwhelming, you see that there stands behind you the Two of Cups, the Minor Arcana Lover's card. It's like, I love you. Try saying that to yourself at night before you go to sleep. I love you, Aries. Say that to yourself and see the power of it, because the I love you is what's waiting for you. It's waiting for you to claim something spectacular. And as you shift your consciousness, you change your whole entire world. You can embrace an air sign energy, most definitely. Now, this air sign energy can also be a pain in the tush. I mean, seriously, this person can be just poking you and poking you and poking you. And you might sit there and not like this air sign energy, or this air sign energy can be your greatest friend. But this is somebody who at this time is a king, forceful, seen, But this is also you within your knowledge, within your understanding. You're forceful, you're seen, you're powerful. And as you embrace this, you see new avenues opening up. You see new ways to move forward. And then we have Fortune's wheel. We have the Wheel of Fortune here. Everything is changing. Nothing stays the same. Plato said, all is flux and nothing stays the same. And I love that quote because it was Plato. I mean, that was centuries upon centuries ago. And still, everything is always changing. Nothing is forever constant. And you might sit there and say, yes, this is constant. I believe this is constant. I believe that is constant. But if you even look at yourself, every 7 years, you're a new person. Look at the way your hair grows. Look at the way your nails grow. Everything changes. Everything moves forward. It's time to embrace this change. It's time to move forward because you move forward in victory. In the victory of what you desire, in the victory of where you stand. And there's going to be a tendency, Aries, not to want to celebrate yourself. You're going to think, oh, that's being, braggadocious, or there's really nothing to celebrate, or, because you can have this kind of fatalistic mindset that sets in and thinks, oh, there's nothing to celebrate. Everything is changing and it's not changing for the better. No, it's kind of like you have to go through that chaos. And then you get to the eye of the storm, right? Everything calms down, but it's a false calm. And then everything gets blown up again. And then you step out and you're like, okay, that's it. That's where I want to be. And it's hard and it's long. And it's severely important. And so with the Six of Fire, it's saying celebrate you. Because life is a storm. Life is a battle. Life is hard. That's why in Buddhism they say life is suffering. That's why the ideology for Christianity is Christ being nailed to the cross. It's suffering, it's pain, and it's rising from that pain. And it's seeing that things are hard and things are overwhelming. And it's not being consumed by it. And so with the Six of Fire, it's celebrating yourself. It's learning your blessings. It's seeing where you thrive. And I love when Trixie Mattel says, it's not being good at everything, it's just having really good lighting. It's knowing your strengths and shining a light on that. Shine that light. Be that person. Don't try to be everything because you'll fail. You will. See where you stand. And if you don't know your strengths, talk with your angels. Talk with your spirit guides. Write things out if that helps you. I like to talk. Okay, writing things out doesn't help me as much as just physically talking. So I like to talk to myself, looking at myself in the mirror, working out concepts and, thoughts. And that I find helpful. Do whatever makes you happy, but start celebrating. And start celebrating your victories, because it's kind of like having a boss that never, ever, ever says good job or always pokes at you. Always tells you did like 15 things right, but tells you, oh, you didn't do that. What's wrong with you? You don't want to be that type of boss for yourself. Look at yourself and say, I did this right. I did this. Well, today was 1% better than yesterday. And then maybe the next day it'll be 2%. And then all of a sudden, you keep on celebrating yourself. You keep on setting up goals that can be met. And you see yourself moving forward in the powerful truth that is you. And as you move forward in that powerful truth, you are changed into a king. And you are changed into a king who then becomes the emperor. As you change your mind and you change your whole entire life. You fly above. And you are powerful in that flight. Also know your mind on point. On point. Listen to your ideas. There's going to be some ideas that you think, oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's ludicrous. Okay, maybe not now, but keep them. Have a little notebook by you. Write it down. Talk it into your phone. Keep those ideas. There is something here that you're going to springboard off of. And it's going to be exactly what you need. Now, this may not increase financial wealth, and it may. You might find that you're building a very solid foundation for what you desire in the future. And you're building something that has the stability and security that you very much desire. And it opens the world to you because it's based off of the gifts that you were blessed with. Because everybody has their gifts. Okay? And sometimes, yes, you have to, work to make a paycheck, most definitely. But it's also seeing the gifts that you were born with. And it's also knowing and respecting those gifts. because there's something here that opens. And once it's opened, Aries, once the door is opened, it's like it changes you forever in a very positive and very brilliant way. Your subconscious message for this time, for this whole entire reading, is the Nine of Air. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's exactly what I was seeing. It's like the Nine of Air, the Nine of Swords, is this doubt, this fear. It's kind of like, can I fly? You have all the birds flying around you, but can I? It's this doubt, it's this fear. Yes, you can. Fly. Embrace your truth and let yourself soar, because the doubt and the fear can eat you away and take away all the blessings. So just be mindful of that. And it's coming here, the 9 comes, right before 10, right? So 9 is you're almost there, and you're going to see yourself as almost being there, but there's something about your mind, there's something about your emotional perception. And why is that important? Emotional perception is important because I am of the firm belief that we are all emotional beings. And if we do not connect with our emotional self, and we do not connect with our emotional truth, we keep ourselves chained within the recesses of our own mind. We might sit there and say, oh, I'm doing this very logically. But if you're doing it so logically that it kills your heart, okay, it's not logical at all. So connecting your heart with your mind is going to be very powerful. And then your subconscious chakra message is abundance. As you embrace your holistic health, as you embrace the healing of your soul and yourself, you again embrace the root chakra, which leads you towards abundance. And that's what you're moving towards. You are moving towards a grand abundance. And I like this 9 and then 8. I like that digression here. And then your subconscious spirit animal message is the wolf. Turn knowledge into wisdom. And that's what you're doing. You are turning the knowledge that you have accumulated into wisdom. And I always thought it was interesting. How do you turn knowledge into wisdom? And it's through a connection with your higher self. At least this is how I see it. It's this connection with your higher self and your higher truth. It's like my wisdom is what I have learned to be my truth. And as you turn knowledge, things that you have accumulated within your mind, within life, as you turn it into your truth, as you turn it into your wisdom, you start living your truth and you don't back down from it. It's like, no, this is my truth. This is my power. This is my heart. This is my soul. And you speak the truth. And that becomes your connection with your pack, okay? Because wolves are pack animals. That becomes your instinctual connection, and that becomes the wisdom for which you thrive off of. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. It was an absolute pleasure bringing it to you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. I am sending healing, loving energy to each and every one of you. Stay safe, and I love you all. Bye.